Hey, welcome to 12 Tone. Today we're going to talk about poetic meter, which is super important to writing lyrics, and what better place to start a discussion about poetry than with William Shakespeare. The bard begins his famous Sonnet 18 with the line, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" and it's a great line. It just rolls off the tongue. Seriously, pause the video and try saying it. It just feels good. But let's try changing it a bit. We're better at this than Shakespeare, right? Let's make it, "Shall I compare thee to a July day?" Try saying that one, see how it feels. I don't know about you, but to my ear that sounds less poetic. It doesn't have the same flow. But why? Is July a less poetic word? Is it too specific? Did we lose the magic when we specified which summer month we meant? Well, no. What's happening here has nothing to do with the meaning of the phrase. It's all about the words themselves. Poetry usually relies on a sort of internal rhythm, and that pulse is part of what separates it from normal language. But poetry doesn't have a drummer, so where does that rhythm come from? The secret lies in how we talk. We don't speak in monotone. Certain parts of words are going to be more stressed than others, like the first syllable of music or the last one in guitar. These stressed parts are called accents, and they form the basis of poetic meter. Let's go back to Shakespeare for a second. Where are the accents? Which parts are emphasized? "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" That's interesting. It looks like every other syllable is accented. In fact, we can remove the words entirely, leaving just the accents and get the same effect. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Whereas if we keep the words and flip the accents to "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day," it barely sounds like English. There's actually a term for these kinds of stress patterns. We call them feet. The specific foot that Shakespeare is using here, which sounds like a da-da, is called an iamb, and can be found in words like guitar, alone, and embrace. This is one of the most common feet because it approximates regular English speech patterns so well. It gives you a subtle poetic rhythm without straying too far from normal dialogue. The opposite, dada, is called a trochee and can be found in words like music, candy, and anger. But what if you don't want to sound like normal speech? What if you want to sound a little more exaggerated or dramatic? Well, then you might be looking for a slightly longer foot. Feet with 3 syllables often sound bouncy and whimsical, which is one reason they were favored by Dr. Seuss. They've also been compared to the galloping of horses and have been used by serious poets like Lord Byron and Robert Browning. A 3-syllable foot with the accent at the beginning is called a dactyl and can be found in words like harmony, sacrifice, or elephant. If it's in the middle, it's called an amphibrach, which is really fun to say and can be found in words like piano, outrageous, or iguana. And if it comes at the end, it's called an anapest, with examples like violin, understand, or apropos. Anapests are rare in English, but if you need them, some dactyls can also be pronounced flexibly, like symphony or even elephant. So how does this apply to lyrics? Well, it does and it doesn't. Lyrics, like poetry, are often built around a single foot, but unlike poetry, lyrics have another trick up their sleeve: external rhythm. You have a drummer, you have a band, you have a melody. You don't need such a strict framework in order to create a sense of meter. This gives you a lot more freedom to add or remove syllables without breaking your flow, and it even lets you craft much more complicated patterns of stress than are available to regular poets. The best advice I can give you is to just make sure that your musical accents line up with your lyrical accents. You don't want to be stuck singing happy or elephant. It just sounds wrong. Honestly, in my experience, good use of meter is one of the 2 biggest differences between amateur and professional lyricists. What's the other one? That's a topic for another video. Cliffhanger. And that's Poetic Meter. Try the exercises, join our mailing list for scans of all our episodes, feel free to suggest future topics in the comments, and keep on rockin'.